Hello and welcome to UND Weather Update on this morning of March 10th, 2021. I'm meteorologist Brian Remington bringing you your forecast this morning. We do have a cooling trend in store for Grand Forks. We've been way above average the past basically entire start of March. We're going to get a little bit back down towards average for the next couple of days. Thursday afternoon, we expect some flurries with a front passing through the area, and a messy day is in store for Minnesota as a large system moves through the area, posing multiple threats to the state. Outside right now in Grand Forks, we are seeing cloudy skies right now, sitting around 26 degrees right now, not too warm out there, and our wind is out of the north at 16 miles an hour, so a chilly morning, especially considering we were around 60 degrees most of yesterday. Across the region, we're seeing 20s across all of North Dakota, 30s across all of South Dakota, and looking at our friends over in Minnesota, seeing 30s across the midsection of the state, but 40s for Minneapolis and a little bit warmer down in that southern corner of the state, and that's going to have an effect on what happens this afternoon. Across the country right now, seeing warm temperatures streaming up into the Midwest, seeing 60s for Oklahoma City, San Antonio, and Kansas City, and that's associated with essentially a cold front stretched across the middle part of the country. See that cold air up there to the north is going to be coming down and impeding on this warm air, and that is going to spice up our weather in the central plains here. Now we do have a large scale system moving onto the west coast right now. You can see that one spinning right there. That is going to move to the desert southwest and eventually pose a severe threat for parts of Oklahoma, Texas, and the deep south. However, today the big story is this low pressure system sitting right around Omaha at this hour. You see a lot of precipitation, some snow back in South Dakota, a lot of precip across Minnesota and Wisconsin, and that precip stretches all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So a very, very large scale system. Zooming in on this, we do see some of that snow picking up from places like Pierre and Rapid City at this hour. As we take a look at southern Minnesota, we see some showers and thunderstorms beginning at this hour. So already this morning, very, very active weather across Minnesota. Now, the SPC this morning did put out a slight risk. Already in early March, we're seeing convective outlooks for the northern plains here. This is for primarily a tornado threat in parts of southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. We could also see some large hail associated with these storms, but most models have been firing off some rather robust convection just south of the Twin Cities, and that eventually moves its way off into western Wisconsin. So keep your eyes on the sky if you're living in southern Minnesota or western Wisconsin. Could be a nasty one for severe weather as we go throughout the afternoon. Checking out the futurecast, we see that convection fire off right around 5 p.m. and move through the Twin Cities region and into western Wisconsin. But maybe the larger story in all of this is this swath of snow extending basically from Pierre all the way up into the Minnesota Arrowhead and covering all of central Minnesota right there. A lot of moisture with this system, and a lot of snow could be dumped along with this. It's going to be very heavy, very wet snow. We'll talk about totals here in a second. As we continue through Thursday, we see a cold front move through the area. That has possibilities of flurries in Grand Forks. But behind that, a high pressure moves in and finally clears the skies for both North Dakota and Minnesota, and will return those temperatures to more of an above average outlook for us. So some nice weather is in store after all of this bad weather. As for snow totals today, we see quite a nice swath extending all the way across the center of Minnesota here, seeing 6 inches for most of these purple regions, but a good range around 3 to 6 inches for most everyone in this range here. It's going to be very heavy, very wet snow, so the roads will deteriorate very quickly as the snow band moves through, so be aware of the weather as if you were living in Minnesota today. Across the region, we are seeing some weather hazards out right now, seeing winter weather advisories for most of central Minnesota, and those are the purples, and the pinks are the winter storm warnings. So all of the Arrowhead and parts of eastern South Dakota are under that right now. So already those warnings are going up, and we expect a nasty day in Minnesota. Today for Grand Forks, we'll hit a high of 40, will be blustery and be cool and cloudy with a north wind gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Tonight those winds will continue and it will be chilly, dropping down to around 26 degrees for our low. And tomorrow we don't get much warmer, seeing 35 for our high. It's still going to be windy, and of course as that cold front passes through, we do expect some afternoon flurries. Checking out the 7-day forecast here, we see that those temperatures basically stick right around that 40-degree mark for the next 3 days. But as we go towards the weekend, we finally begin to warm up, seeing 50s on Saturday, likely 50s on Sunday. And by the beginning of next week, we are sitting again in the mid-40s. So some nice weather is back in store for us after this nasty day clears out of the area. Thank you for watching UND Weather Update. Please tune in next time.